Hello and welcome. If you find anything useful in the tutorial today, please like and subscribe, it really helps. We're going to be continuing with our DaztoUnreal tutorials by giving you this part 2. Today we're going to be dealing with geo shells, materials and basic setup. In today's tutorial, we're going to be using this DazStudio character, System 50 for Genesis 3 females. I chose this particular character because I liked the look of it and thought it would be a good base for us to work with. This character also uses geo shells, which are notoriously difficult to work with inside of UnrealEngine, and that's what I want to work on today. Okay, here we are inside DazStudio. Now this is the character we're going to be using today. What you are looking at is an iRay render. It took around 5 minutes. So I want to stress, you are not going to get this quality inside UnrealEngine with a Daz character. It's just, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but I just haven't seen it yet. But we will try and get the best we possibly can from it. Anyway, let's proceed. Okay, so here we have our System 50 character. I have given it a custom skin for the actual skin material, and then I have chosen from the various material presets a suit color, which in this case is going to be white. I may change that as we move forward. I don't know yet. Now, what is special about this particular character, which makes it very hard for us to deal with inside UnrealEngine, is that this suit is in fact, let me just hide the lights for a moment, a geometry shell suit. Now, there are two ways of dealing with this inside UnrealEngine. One is to export it from UnrealEngine into Blender and then weight paint or transfer the weights into the geometry suit so it moves inside UnrealEngine. Because if you've ever tried to do a geometry shell suit inside Unreal, you will know it does not move with the skeleton or the armature, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't work. So it is a difficult thing to do. So what I think I'm going to do today, I've already recorded this tutorial and it took me 4 hours, and I did it the Blender way, where I transferred the weights onto the geometry suit and so it would move along with the body. But then I thought to myself, the easiest way to do it is going to be to work with materials in UnrealEngine. So having said that, the first thing we must do before we even proceed is find out what textures this geometry suit is using. So if we hide our actual character, this suit is what we need the textures for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the Surfaces tab, and I'm just basically going to click let's say torso, and expand it, go to base, and here in base color is an image. If we click that image and we go to browse, it will show you on in your Daz library where all the textures are for this suit. And so what we're going to do is copy this folder, System 50 in this case, and I'm going to copy all these textures so I can use them inside Unreal. So I will do that now. Okay, here on my desktop I've created a folder, Tutorial 2, and there are two folders here. One is for the suit I've just been discussing. There are some extra files in here. Let's just get rid of those to avoid confusion. They're from something I was working on earlier. I'll get rid of those now. There we go. And so all we have here now are the textures. Down here at the bottom, I used GIMP to edit some of the textures, because when we bring them into Unreal, this is a YouTube video and I need to try and avoid nudity if possible. So I hope that happens, because we need this to stay family friendly. Right, so we have those textures in there. We will go through later. I'm kind of learning this process as I go along, so you're gonna have to bear with me on this one. And then also in that same folder is textures from the character that I'm using for the skin. So we've got all those textures as well in a folder in case we need those. In fact, I'm pretty sure we're going to need those. Anyway, let's proceed. So we click on System 50, and I reckon this may be one of those nudity moments, so there may be some blanking on the screen. What we want to do is actually delete the geometry suit, or we can unparent it, I suppose. So unparent and then hide it, and here we have a blank Genesis 3 character, and we're going to actually export this to Unreal Engine now. So send to DaztoUnreal, System 50. We select asset type of skeletal mesh, enable morphs, and then we choose morphs, and all I've done is click arms, legs and torso, and it's done this. I don't think there may be is there a blink for this? No. Eyes closed. Yeah, I want eyes closed as well in there. Add, and this is so I can make it blink. Mouth open. And that'll do for now, and click accept. Here we have the intermediate folder. Always know where your intermediate folder is, so if you need to access it directly, you can find it very quickly. For example, if Unreal Engine crashes during the transfer, you can open Unreal Engine, and if you know where this folder is, this one here, you can then import your character from the files in that folder. Right, next we show FBX dialog, and we hit accept, and we make sure enable morphs is checked, and then accept, and then it should now go to Unreal Engine. So let's move over to Unreal Engine, and now it is importing. For the skeleton, from our last tutorial, I already have a Genesis 3 skeleton here, and that is what I want to use. This is a Genesis 3 character after all. So I find the Genesis 3 character, skeleton, sorry, and that's what we want to use. And then we click import. Ignore these warnings, it's absolutely fine. And so if we now click on this, I'm probably going to have to do some sort of blanking again. And there we have it. We have our blank character. Okay, so what we're quickly going to do is, where is our torso? Okay, so what we're going to need to do, if we go back to Daz and actually show our suit, as you can see, some of the body is showing, and then the rest is all this suit. So there's like a midsection and the face. Let me turn this around to have a look. And the back, look there. And that is what's showing of skin. And so we're gonna have to somehow, with materials and opacity or blending, we're going to have to recreate this geosuit material somehow. So here we have the skin, and this is where we'll start. Right, so what for now, let's just turn that off and let's just get rid of our character for a while. Okay, so I have here automotive materials. It's an old pack from the Epic Games marketplace. It's free, or at least was free. I absolutely love this. I still use it quite regularly for most things. If I need like a shiny metallic surface or something, I always come to this. It's a great pack, it really is. So in here we'll have, for example, car paints, and they've got like a pearlescent quality to them. You can have fingerprints. It's just pretty good. Look, so we've got charcoal. I don't think it's going to show up on a YouTube video, but there is imperfections in this. Cherry red is just look at that, amazing. Anyway, that's enough drooling. What we need to do is go to, depending on what materials you're using, we need to go to the main material. I don't want to create one because I really want to use these with our character. So in this case there is a master material called car paint, and all the other materials you've just seen, the car paints, this is its master material. So it looks scary if you've never done this before, but where we need to concentrate on is on the final output here. So basically this is where your main color ends up, your roughness, specular, and these things are important because now we can use those to create our geosuit over a skin. But what I want to do first, I've already started to prepare one, so we'll open that, and I have called it Cyber Paint Master. And if we open that, what I have is, so this was the original color coming in, and it would go to base color. So originally it was like this, look, and these were not connected basically. So what we have now is, let's get rid of that, and what we've got is the skin texture set as a parameter. So I'll show you how to do that in a moment. Then we've got a cutout texture, which will be our geosuit. It comes with a cutout texture, and it will control where the skin is and where the color coming in is. I will show you that in a moment. Right, so for now, let's restart this particular one. There we go. Right, so originally it was set up like this. It's a base color, and it created this metallic looking color here. Okay, so what we want to do is create a texture parameter. All this means is that inside a material instance you can set, if you're used to Unreal you know this, but you can set the textures we will use inside this texture parameter, and that's what we want. So next we need to create another one, texture parameter, and for now I will stick with this. There is a third because this particular geosuit has rivets that go on the suit, and I would also have to do that here, but for the purposes of this tutorial I'm going to try and keep it as simple as possible because it's already quite complex and I'm struggling with it. So anyway, so we'll click on the first parameter we created, and we will call this color, spelled the British way. There we go. And then no, see, in fact we will call that skin, so it's not confusing. Skin, yeah. And then on this second parameter we created, we'll call this cut out. And then what we'll do is remove the original color from base color. No, forgive me, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's move those up there. We need to create a lerp, a linear interpolate. I can't say the word, so there we go, linear interpolate. And basically what this does is it has an A and a B, and it will mix A and a B depending on what the input of an alpha is. And so what we can do with this is take our base color and place that into B. Then we can take our skin and place that into A. I may have to switch these around. And then we go to the cutout and we take the R and we place that into alpha. And then from the lerp, we go to our base color and save. Perfect. Now we've created a master material. And so we will close that for a moment. And we will go back to our system 50 character. We'll go into materials, and I want to create a new folder inside materials, and we'll call this tutorial. Right, inside the tutorial folder, I want to create a material instance. There we go. And we'll call this sys50 torso. And we open that up, and it's just a blank material instance. In the parent, we want to search for the material, the master material I just created, M Cyberpaint Master. And as you can see, this is what we have now. Now, this is why I'm using the automotive materials pack. It has this function, use chameleon. So like you get those cars with chameleon paint, and depending on where you're looking at it, it kind of changes color. So that is one of the reasons I absolutely love this. So we enable that, and the chameleon, we will set the base color first. Now I want to pull up our reference image. Let me go and do that right now. Okay, here she is. So I want to try and create this. I really do like it. Choose the base color, and I would choose that by clicking here, and she had like a red color to her, so we'll go for a dark red for now. And then in the chameleon color, just something maybe over in the blue over there, and that should create like a chameleon color. It'll be more apparent in a while. But right, if we go down here to global texture parameter values, you see our texture parameters we created: cutout, which we enable, and skin. Now what we need to do here, we're going to be placing the textures for our skin here, which is from the base of our character, and this will be our cutout for our geosuit. Right, but first we need to import all the geosuit files, which I stored on my desktop, if you remember. So let's go to our system 50 folder. We'll go into textures, and I'm going to create a new folder in here called geosuit. And what I need to do now is go to my desktop and go to the system 50 folder, and now we need to import all of these into Unreal Engine. So I select them all, right, and we import all those into Unreal Engine. Now it's importing them. Brilliant. Right, first we need a cutout, a cutout texture. So we are working with the torso at the minute. That's what I'm creating. So I want, there's two here for different types, with and without vents. So I'm going to use this torso opacity here, and I'm going to drag it into our cutout. And there you go, you see it instantly changed color. And I mean, we can kind of see it here. Look, it's cut out some places and left others. Now it's the others we need to deal with. So I'm going to go back to textures where our skins are. Now I hope I've edited this so we don't get nudity. And we're looking for the diffuse texture, and I'm just going to drag that into there and hit save. And now we have this, and you can kind of see it already. This skin there, and then there's the suit. So we'll save that and close. Now if we go back to our character, System 50, who's currently naked, we scroll down to torso here, which is this, and then we go to our materials, tutorial, and we drag in to torso, our torso material. There we have it. We instantly have what was in in DazStudio, just obviously in a red color. So I'm very happy with that. Now what we need to do is we have legs here that we need to give them the geosuit material as well, because if you look in this, it covers all the bottom half, so we need to do that. So let me go into here and we will start work on the legs. Now the easiest way to do this is the one we created for the material instance, we created for our torso. We duplicate and we name it Sys 50 legs. And what we will do is open that up. Now obviously at the moment it has the torso cut out, etc. So we need to go and replace that. So we will go to DaztoUnreal and System 50 textures and geosuit, and we are looking for legs. So what we need to do first is I want to drag in legs into there. There we go, and that's the black and white legs. And then for the cutout we need to find some sort of leg cutout. Do we have that? Let's have a look. No we don't. Right, well in that case we just remove this cutout and the whole thing should be legs. Let me go back and we go to the legs and we drag that material in, tutorial and legs, and as you can see they are white. I did not expect that. Let me try again. Open that up. Right, hopefully I'm starting to find out a way to overcome this. So what I've done is after the lerp I've had a static switch with a static bool parameter called bypass. I'm going to start assigning these a group, so I'm going to call these Joe Buzz, just so we know they're mine, and we'll do that. We'll set the group for each of these in group. We'll set Joe Buzz, and here as well Joe Buzz. Okay, yep, that's all good. Okay, so now hopefully if I save and we go to, now this is a group look called Joe Butsu with our cutout and skin in there. Now if I hit bypass and then go yep, it completely bypasses that. The skin texture and cutout texture, and then hopefully we'll have red legs. There we go. I don't know how to get the texture onto them yet. I will try that later, I hope. But if we zoom out, there we go. That's what we have so far. I really like it so far. So next we need to do the arms. So we go back to our materials folder, tutorial, and we will duplicate this again, and this time we will call it sys 50 arms. And we'll open that up, bypass, and enable bypass, save. And if we go back to our character, hit save, we need to go to the arms, which are here, right at the bottom, and then get the material instance we just created and drag arms into there, and then there you go, we have arms. Now I'm going to repeat the process for the other pieces, like the nails here. I believe the toenails need doing as well. Yep. And then I will get back to you. There's something missing at the back of the head here, which I need to figure out how to do as well. Okay, so I've had a little play around. I've done all the nails, etc. And also I'm trying with the face. So as you can see, I've made it incredibly glossy, and it's maybe too glossy, but I will leave it like that for now. I've shaded the ears red. I've done nothing so far with the lips. If you see, I am moving away from our reference. Our reference is really shiny, and then softer on the skin parts, whereas I am really glossy at the moment. I need to figure out a way to do it on the torso. Maybe I'll have to create some sort of material function, but I'm trying not. Usually I would work with material functions. If I need something doing, I would create a function and I would put that inside materials, but I don't want to take us down a rabbit hole of creating functions and spending too long. Let's make sure our morphs still work. Mouth open, the shaders compile. Here we go. So we've got a mouth open and eyes closed, so she can blink. And of course, because this is not a geo suit, we can go to the skeleton and say choose the shoulder, and we can bend the arm like so, which is pretty cool. You can't do that with a geo suit, obviously it doesn't work. Right, so looking at this and looking at this, if you look carefully, there is a lot of bump on this, and obviously in Unreal Engine 5 we can't do that, so I may have to skip that for today. We are going to be moving on shortly and creating a blueprint for this mesh and assigning it animations and so on and so on, so I don't want to get too bogged down. I would prefer to find a way to put all these indentations in and put the rivets back, but that may take a long time. Okay, anyway, it's time to move on. After a good couple of hours, I had a short break, and then I went back to my character and I've done some work on the materials. So this is where we are now. I didn't include this in the tutorial because it's beyond the scope, but if we take things like the eyes, it's quite simple. I took a car paint from our car paint collection here, which I showed you earlier, and all I did is took the charcoal one. I didn't want to go with the black, but I changed the colour of the irises, which were blue before, and I think it works really well. Then for the face, I figured out with the material that I could control the roughness here. I still can't figure it out how to do it for the torso. Right, and you will notice that I have added to my master material, and what I have added is ability to bypass the cutout. I have added a normal, a way to control the normal amount, a roughness map, which as you can see, you can see it here. We added the specular before. I think that's about it, and that's what I did. So now when you zoom in, there is a normal map, as you can see, and then a roughness map. So it's not shiny everywhere, basically it's just shiny in certain places, and there's no real logic behind it. I just kept working away on that master material, which I will bring up now just to show you. So if we look at like the torso, look, I've added this normal and like, it's like a texture, as you can see, that is now in the roughness map. Anyway, let's go to our master material. It's a little bit messy. Up here we have scratch and grime. I didn't actually get to that, I didn't have time. So originally we had skin, cutout. I've replaced this, I've inserted a couple of static switches. So that static switch there. Now we've got a roughness map. Over here specular, and somewhere we have the normal. Oh yeah, the normal here, and then just a few lerps. The roughness map is inverted with a 1-. So this is beyond the scope of this tutorial, but as you can see, I haven't made that much change to this. So, but it has made a dramatic difference to our character just by adding these few nodes inside our master material. In a previous tutorial, I already imported some animations. Let me just move that out of the way. And so I just want to see what this looks like before we go any further with an animation. So where's our idle? Oh yeah, look, so this is an idle animation retargeted for our Genesis 3 character. I really like that. I think this is actually a Mixamo idle animation that I retargeted using the Mixamo retargeter, and I retargeted it to Genesis 3. Please check my previous video for how I did that. Anyway, we're going to move on and we're going to create a scene now to put our character in. Okay, I've opened up a map. Again, this is just a MetaHuman cinematic lighting preset, which is freely available on the Epic Marketplace. Go and check it out. And all I've done is added a floor, and then I've changed the color of the background to match our reference image, which I showed you from the Daz store. This contains various lights. We have an ambient light, a background light, 2 key lights, and a top light. What I want to do first is I don't want to drag our mesh directly into Unreal Engine. What I want to do is first create an actor blueprint. So right click in your folder where your character is and select blueprint class, actor, and we will name this sys 50 BP for blueprint. Open that up and it'll take a moment. Okay, what we're going to do is drag in our System 50 Genesis 3 character, compile, and as you can see, that is now in our blueprint. Okay, the first thing I want to do is rename the mesh here to body, so we know where it is, and compile. And then I want to add some components. So first I want to add LOD sync, and with this selected, we're going to go to here, number of LODs, 1, and forced LOD 0. Then in components to sync, hit this plus and expand, and here type body. That's it. Now hit compile and save. We need to make sure it auto activates as well, so go down here to auto activate and select that, compile and save. Right, we need to ensure that in your plugins, so go to edit, plugins, ensure that live link is enabled, which it is already for me. And that is important because we're going to add a live link component, not because we're using live link, but there is a component in it with a live link plugin that allows you to preview animation inside of the editor without simulating or pressing play, and that's what we want. So live, there it is, live link skeletal animation, and we do that and we select it, and all we have to do is go down here to auto activate, select that and then compile, and now we're done. So now we need to exit, and what I want to do now is go to the blueprint I just created and drag that into my scene like so, and we need to ensure that it's bang in the center, 0 0 0. There we go, and create save all. Now in this I've already created a cinematic camera. It's a wide shot, so I've got these settings at the moment: 36:15, minimum focal length for 1000, minimum f-stop not there, maximum there, diaphragm blade count, I've got focus set to manual, my focal length is 85 millimeters, current aperture is 1.4. If we type in exposure, I've got my exposure set to manual, and current compensation is set to 5. Shutter speed is set to 48 because I'm going to be working at 24 frames per second, so I require 48. If you're using a different frame rate, say 30, that would be 60 there. That's it for the camera. So what we're going to do is go into cinematic mode by clicking here, and then we're going to click on the cinematic camera to view, and in the editor I'm going to click G to go into game mode. So this is what we have so far. Now if we click on our character and we go down to body, and from here we use animation asset, and then we go and find our idle retargeted animation, and as you can see, because we have this live link in our list and inside our blueprint, sorry, we can view our animation inside the editor. Okay, so this part has gone on for over 30 minutes. I think we'll leave it here. In the next part we will be dealing with cinematic and animation. If you found anything useful today, please like and subscribe, it really helps. See you in the next one.